It's always important to look back, to make sure that when we're going forward, we appreciate the past players and what they've meant to me, to the sport, to all of sports.
It's very important. I think it's probably the most important thing, the history of our game.
That was the defining moment in the history of world tennis when we actually formed the ATP, and that was at the US Open in 1972.
It was a great feeling for everybody, and of course the ATP being needed to represent the players to the tournaments and officials.
I look at the guys that I had my real rivalries with, you know, Mac for sure, and Borg and Lendl and guys like that. That was my generation, but it was, which one did I respect the most? I respected them all.
Every time has their own champions, and you know, I had a great time. We had great champions during my time.
My favorite historic ATP moment is having a press conference at the US Open in 1988 in the parking lot, and it was when we announced that we in the ATP were leaving the Grand Prix circuit. Then we started the ATP Tour in '90.
I think respecting the past of any sport is huge for any athlete, and it's one thing that there's such linkage in tennis. We're not a sport that started off where we are today. We've come a long way. There was an amateur era where players traveled the world, and we're just grateful to be able to chance to see the world and be able to play tennis.
Looking back at the history of the game with Laver and Rosewall, guys I've looked up to, from there to Borg to Lendl, McEnroe, to see the history of the sport is important, and to appreciate those guys.